Okay. Yes. So I thought I'd do a little experiment in today's little stream, and I'm also streaming on my Sontronics Podcast Pro microphone. I'm curious about how that sounds compared to the gooseneck that's right there that I've been using. Can hear that it's kind of messed up my noise gate settings and stuff, but I'll just try to speak loudly and enunciate in English. It's difficult. Immediately to me, it sounds, this microphone here sounds kind of sharp. Sharp. Maybe it's meant for being this distance, and yeah, there's a huge difference, isn't it, in bass response. But there's no space on my keyboard. I'll try to move it a bit closer. Come here, microphone. Yeah, that was a little bit better, wasn't it? Yeah, okay, that's better. Now we kind of disappeared out of the frame. Okay, who cares? We are okay. Plan for today. Mesmer the game. The third game from Rain Games is out soon. And I'm really happy with the soundtrack and the sound of it and the mixing and stuff. If I can brag about myself, yeah, so classy. But it made me think. So this is some music up here on the screen from a previous game, the one that you heard. It's called World to the West. And for that, when we mixed and mastered, we did a combination of just mastering the files ourselves and using LANDR, or however it is pronounced. And LANDR is super practical. I have nothing against the robots doing their final touches on a master. But since it's now 2020 and I have all this juicy gear over here and over here that you can barely see, I thought I'd try, just for my own research and science, to do a quick master of one of those tracks from World to the West and just compare it and see what LANDR sounds like now in 2020 and see what I sound like today in 2020. So I have cheated a little bit. I have started an upload of this song to LANDR because the process takes a few minutes. And this is roughly the old master setup. And I'm a bit skeptical because I'm wearing headsets when I stream, and I'd much prefer to listen to the speakers, but I'll do my best. So in the old mix, I used passive EQ from Native Instruments, which is actually a super nice EQ that I keep forgetting about. It's model on the Massive Passive from Manly Labs, probably. Super smooth. And it seems like I've used a preset called Mix Polish, which just boosts the high and the lows and cuts out some 4K, it seems. Okay, yeah. And I also used virtual tape. Forgetting to show. So here's the passive EQ and the setting, and here's the tape emulator from Slate Digital. And Elysia compressor from Plugin Alliance, lovely thingy here. And then a fab filter at the end to get levels up. Yeah, see, I boost quite a bit on the master because that's how I like it. I like to have lots of headroom sometimes. Yeah, especially when working with virtual instruments. And this entire song is probably just samples. Let me see. Yeah, everything is samples and samplers. No audio recorded for this song. So let's just listen to it. quickly in the project here. So it's not a bad sound at all. So this is From World to the West, and this is Knaus, a little character's, his kind of theme tune. And I can see I have probably my, looks like a reverb or something making noise. No, it wasn't. Anyways, Knaus, one of the cute characters. So World to the West takes place in kind of a alternative America, South America-ish. And you play different characters in that game, and Knaus' story starts with tons of little children being sent to the moon by a rocket, and they're supposed to dig for coal and then kind of heave the coal down on a rope to the earth. That's how they think the world functions. And the rocket, of course, doesn't land on the moon. It lands in South America somewhere, where the story takes place. But when they land there, they first think that they are on the moon. So they see a hole in the ground, and they're kind of afraid of falling out of the moon or something like that. It's super cute story. And so he's kind of a little coal digger type. So there's whistling, there's ukulele, it's like the hey ho, let's go to work. What do they call Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs? Kind of inspired by that, I suppose. So ukulele, whistling. What did I do for bass? Okay, I think it's a bass from Swing library. And I programmed in the kind of the muting when you had a clack, clack, clack between the notes. That's fun trick. Because that's sometimes what a real bass player will do. Okay, so passive EQ. Let's replace that with the Moog. Let's take a listen to that. Okay, I'm gonna turn some buttons. So yeah, nice top end already. Um, 2.5K sounds nice on the Moog. I'm often suspicious or kind of wary of that because it can be shrill, but not on the Moogs. It just brings things forward. I'm not sure we need a 650, but let's try it. And that's the thing with the Moog EQs, it just sounds nice and whatever you do. But let's leave that for now. Adding some bottom, 40 and 160. Is that too much? Okay, so now I've basically done the same kind of ish that the passive EQ did. There's a ton of top end boost starting at 10. That's a air band from Moog. Maybe we did let's just do one notch of 2.5 instead of 2 notches. Yeah, that kind of, it's more relaxing to listen to. Might have overdone the bass there. It's on headset. I'm kind of skeptical. Okay, so I'm turning it back a notch. And I did add a sub. I didn't hear it doing any difference, but for placebo, let's leave it in there. So, and now let's get rid of the Elysia master here. And this is what I typically do with Elysia. I use either preset 1 or if I want it to be more aggressive, I use preset 2. Preset 1, I'm not sure if it's set to work on the sides or... Hey, Dumka. I'm just talking about mixing and mastering here. That's a visitor in the stream, a Russian streamer, and he's played through this game super quickly. So the Brainworks Elysia here it's not set to work on the sides, but still it adds kind of a enhanced stereo feeling nonetheless. So we are going to get rid of that, and I'm turning on my LA Force that is just out of the frame here. And let's see what they do. Now it's off. So it's louder, so that might trick us. Hey, serious mastering! Do we have a real mastering engineer in the stream? Okay, then I need to turn down this window so I can watch the chat. Maybe we get some actually useful input here. So what I'm kind of doing is just comparing to what I did mastering wise for this previous game we did to how I do it now and to what LANDR does, because sometimes we use kind of a mix, and if it sounds good on LANDR, then we use that, and if it doesn't, we just do it ourselves. So I have cheated and started an LANDR process in the background. It's done here, but I haven't listened to it yet. And so I thought I'd just do a quick kind of mix and master here, and then we listen to all three of them at the end and compare. LANDR, who is LANDR? Asks Dumka. LANDR is artificial intelligence, robots doing their trickery in the background. So it's like Photoshop for sound. And I'm also testing out my new red microphone here, the Podcast Pro. First time I'm trying to talk into that. Okay, let's continue. Get back my window here. So when you see this button here is yellow, the LA Force are off. And now they're on. I'm gonna drive them a bit harder. So now they're doing like 1.5 dB of gain reduction. Now I'm just comparing levels before and after. And for the geeks who understand what I'm talking about right now, the LA4s that I have are not run in stereo. I have calibrated them as closely as I can, but I have not stereo linked them. I like them in dual mono because it does fun things to the stereo image. So can you hear that, the Doom car? When I turn it on and off, you kind of listen to how wide the instrument seems to be, or how wide I seem to go in the stereo field. So this is off. And now I'm turning it on. So to my ears, the sound just becomes incredibly much more three-dimensional when I send them through the LA4s. It's such a great piece of equipment. Vintage compressors that are incredibly unpopular among the snobs, so they are super cheap and they sound fantastic. So I don't care what other people say. They sound really good. Okay, I'm gonna check the and I'm guessing that LANDR is gonna be much louder than this. So I hope I didn't overdo it there. Yeah, Dunka agrees. He can hear the stereo enhancements and the smoothness that comes from the LA4s. Okay, I think we're gonna leave it like that and do a quick bounce of this, and then we can compare. So this has to happen in real time because it's going through analog gear. New master. Oh, clackety clackety clack. So now we have to watch this play through the song in real time, and let's see. I can also start downloading the LANDR thingy. Download. And I'm kind of curious now how big of a difference we'll hear. So here's the old master. That's kind of similar to how you heard the music in the game Doomka. And I don't think it will be a huge difference, but I think it'll be a little nice difference. So let's just have this finish up in the background here. 50 seconds left. If all goes well. Yeah, it seems like serious mastering ran away, but amateurs. I can't stand this. So, oh, you do. My apologies. He's still here. Okay. Maybe we can have your expert ears listen with us when we compare the three versions here. Yeah, and I did use LANDR for a period, and I still have a subscription to the service. But now I have just kind of stopped using it. But it's maybe they have new algorithms Maybe there's, yeah, LANDR version, and where's my new mix? Okay, so in order here. Why did I stop using it? I think it was probably a trade-off of the convenience and the time it took. But it's also super useful to have it as an extra backup, because you can always download the original file from there. And when we do, like proper releases, when we release the soundtrack from World to the West, and I'm gonna do the same thing with Mesmer. The Mesmer soundtrack, we send it to a place in Nashville called Sage Audio, which I've been super happy with. So in like 7 years ago, we tested out a ton of online mastering houses, Abbey Road and Sage and Studio Pros, and like tons of different ones, all kinds of price ranges as well. And we just picked the one we liked the best, and it was Sage Audio, and we kind of stuck with them. Sage is well known, says Serious Mastering. Okay, I have no idea if they're famous or not, but I just super enjoy the sound we get from there. And now recently we did the piano song with Sonia, and first we sent it to a German mastering house that seemed interesting, and then we kind of like, oh, it's good, but and then we sent it to Sage, and it's like, oh yeah, that's it. That's it. Now it's done. It's finished. That's how we wanted it to sound. Okay, Knaus, the old master. So let's just listen to the first minute. Okay. And okay, one big caveat here, serious mastering, is that the sound you are hearing is, compressed a billion times. It goes a fallback 2 from the SSL goes into the Roland thingy here, which has kind of crappy line inputs, and that's going through the OBS and Twitch, which is probably compressing it again. So, but let's go to the LANDR version. Okay, so immediately it's louder. Okay, this is not bad. This is nice. Okay, not bad. To my taste, it's a bit too much. The strength of the boosting, whatever it does. But you can tell the robot to don't be as heavy-handed, which I'm going to do in the background right now. And while it does that, let's listen to my new master. Okay, so in that kind of busy section here is where I thought LANDR was too much. So right there, I like mine better. Surprise. But the LANDR version was really nice in the beginning. So let's compare the beginnings again. And now LANDR. See? So it's definitely louder, much louder. Not much. It's a little bit louder, but somehow they managed to make it sound more open. At least now when I'm listening to my in my headset. Yeah, and maybe I should have added more of the 650 on the Mag, because it definitely has a more kind of roundness in the medium, low, and there. Okay, let's listen to the old one just for. Okay, much quieter. Yeah, this kind of sounds a bit plasticky and thin and not 3D dimensional at all now. Okay, so for an album release of this, I think I would actually prefer LANDR, or I would have to rework mine. This was done in like a few minutes, so but as if this was, you know, the final files. But then I think this new master here, yeah, Dunka likes the second. That's the LANDR one. I think that would work better inside the game. Serious Mastering comments that the LANDR seems to be more static and your latest was more round. Yeah, I think that's they do compress it quite a bit, and they're more heavy to get the loudness up. Let's see what the the other. I'm trying to do another LANDR master in the background with kind of set to low instead of medium. See if that makes a difference. But both are fine. So this is my new one. Yeah, it seems kind of abrasive. Is that a word in English? Like I would say masete in Norwegian. It's like it's talking too much right in your face. It's a bit too too much, too close. It's a close talker. So just slightly too much. But I'm betting that if I switch this to the low setting here, it would help. And so one last test. So what do you guys think of the sound from the Podcast Pro? To me, I haven't heard. I need to hear it back on the stream. It sounds a little thin, so I did a bit of EQ on it. But let's compare it to the gooseneck mic that I'm usually talking to, which is here, and a huge difference in sound, isn't it? And it also doesn't have a noise gate on it, so you'll hear the my streaming computer laptop over there going in the background. It has the Listen mic compressor on it from SSL, so now I'm switching back to the Podcast Pro. It's here. Hello, hello. Big difference, isn't it? Yeah, C-Series mastering is absolutely right. It's all about taste, and that's exactly why we went with Sage. I think the guys there, or the guy who's doing the thing, they just have a similar taste to mine, and that's why I like him. So for someone else, it might not be the best choice at all. Podcast mic sounds more human. That's probably the Listen mic compressor that's on the SSL. Yeah, taste. Absolutely. You would take the podcast one. And it looks super cool, though. It's all red and cool. It's a gift from my girlfriend. I got it yesterday. I turned 45. Oh, yes. Never been 45 before, so it'll be awesome. I don't... Can we conclude anything here from this? Thanks, Doomka wrote happy birthday. I know he asked a business question. And I have rates. You can send me an email. I'll write my email here. Let's do that off stream. In general, I am in a very fortunate position with my work, so I can scale my fees to the different projects easily. But the big problem is usually then time, which gets eaten quickly. So if you have a low budget project, if you can give me more time, then it's doable. Yeah. I think I'll end the stream here. I have stuff to do. I need... there's a new premiere of the Hekseringen. Heksring. Hex is witches and ring is a ring. So the Witches Ring, the musical that we wrote in 2017. They have a new premiere in a new location up on the mountain side. So this year it's... Well, it's always been an outdoor musical, but this year it's way up in the mountain. So that's cool, but I have to adjust some of the songs, switch the keys around a bit so they fit the singers better, new cast. And then I have to work on Kärna, which is the horror... Oh, that's impossible to say. Horror. Scary. Horror. Oh my god, that was hard in English. Horror musical. Or horror... Horror. I can't say it. Horror. The kind of contemporary dance thingy that's in an abandoned factory in late August. That'd be fun. And we're doing a recording of some singers on Saturday, so I have to prepare for that. Yeah, but thanks for stopping by, guys, and very cool to see you, Serious Mastering. I'll check out your channel afterwards, and see you around. I'm stopping the stream. Bye-bye.